Good evening and welcome to Winnipeg, Manitoba, where we start off the first leg of our Gold Cup tour. From coast to coast, LA, Ohio, Miami, we bring you all the latest news on the Canadian team and the CONCACAF Federation. I'm Laurence McKenna.
And I'm Max Bell.
And tonight we start off with some recent news about the USA all the way down in South Africa at the Confederations Cup. Runners-up in this tournament, how did they do?
Well, Laurence, for CONCACAF, this was an amazing result. We've known for a long time the Americans have a great team, a lot of depth, but it finally seems that they're starting to believe in themselves and play with the confidence and passion that we often associate with European or South American football. And I think they've shocked a lot of critics around the world. I've heard a lot of European analysts say they were very impressed with the Americans. They were very impressed with their physicality, their athleticism, as well as with their footballing skill. So it's really huge progress for the Americans, which we hope will translate into good progress for the Confederation, and maybe it can raise the game for everybody around them.
Indicating maybe that we're starting to take the Americas slightly more seriously when it comes to football.
Absolutely. Well, I think you have to with a performance like the Americans put in. I mean, they went toe-to-toe with Spain, Fernando Torres and co., with Brazil, Robinho, Kaká, and they knocked off a very good Egyptian side 3-0. So they really showed a good poise, and what's most inspiring is, as I said, the confidence they're now playing with, believing in themselves, believing in American football, and we hope the Canadians can follow suit.
What are the ramifications of the Confederations Cup for the Gold Cup?
Well, it's interesting because the Americans obviously having to compete in the Confederations Cup, they've put a lot of effort into that, and almost none of the players will be transferring over that you may be familiar with to the Gold Cup squad. One of the few names you may recognize is Freddie Adu, but the notable names like Landon Donovan, Carlos Bocanegra, DeMarcus Beasley, these players will not be present at the Gold Cup, which may diminish the caliber of the tournament on the whole, but it gives Canada a very good chance to do very well at this tournament, and some are even saying that Canada has the best squad on paper at the tournament. So exciting times for Canadian supporters who may be feeling a bit beat up after World Cup qualifying.
Speaking of Canadians and squad strength, there's a few positions that maybe you're looking a little shaky on, but also a few that you're well stocked in. Where's the positions that you feel very confident about for this tournament?
Well, I think if you're looking at the back line or at the midfield, we have a very good setup. Obviously, Julian de Guzman, Atiba Hutchinson, the veterans in midfield. We're looking to them to do big things. Julian de Guzman is coming to the end of his term, it seems like, at Deportivo in Spain, so he's going to be very eager to prove himself on this kind of an international stage. Atiba Hutchinson, there are also rumors that he may be moving on from FC Copenhagen, so he'll also be looking to prove himself as well. But if you look at our back line, veterans like Paul Stalteri, who's had a great season in Germany, he's gone to Borussia Mönchengladbach and really been a key part in keeping them in the Bundesliga. You have Kevin McKenna, who's played some serious minutes in the Bundesliga for FC Köln. And as well as you have the young faces like Dejan Jakovic in the MLS, Andrew Eno in the MLS, and at left back, Mike Klukowski, who's been one of Canada's best players over the last couple of years, and he's had another great season in Belgium.
So a few players there that are looking to prove themselves, and a few players that are maybe looking to stamp their mark on the team before they have to retire in too long.
Absolutely, but I think if you're talking about players looking to prove themselves, Simeon Jackson up front, he plays for Gillingham in League 2 in England. They were recently promoted to League 1. He scored the winning goal in the playoff final at Wembley. He scored a crucial FA Cup goal against Aston Villa. He scored 20 goals throughout the season, and he scored goals at big times in big games. And in fact, he scored Canada's only goal in a 1-0 win over Cyprus in Canada's most recent game before the tournament. So a lot of hopes are pinned on this young 21-year-old, and we're hoping as Canadian supporters that he'll deliver and give us a great performance.
Speaking of pinning your hopes on someone, you can have great firepower in a tournament, but when it comes to the back line, it has to be solid and it has to be backed up by a good goalkeeper. What's going on in that position?
Well, this is a major concern for Canada going into the tournament. We have Lars Hirschfeld, our usual number one, who's away at the moment. He's just signed with Energy Cottbus in Germany, so I think a lot of supporters will understand the need he had to get his club career back on track. He was kind of lost in the mix in Romania for a long time. Also, Asmir Begovic, a potential Canadian number one. There's a bit of controversy at the moment. There's been reports in the Bosnian press that he may be looking at playing for Bosnia. I've spoken to the Canadian Soccer Association this morning. They assured me that they spoke to Asmir not too long ago, that he said he wanted to play for Canada at the Gold Cup, but that he was staying at home to be with his girlfriend who was delivering their first baby. And I think a lot of supporters will understand that as well. But still, given Owen Hargreaves and Jonathan de Guzman leaving the Canadian program, there's a lot of concern over retaining players, especially with the FIFA rules having changed so recently regarding eligibility. But all in all, this is a very good Canadian squad, and I expect a very good performance from Canada under Stephen Hart. And let's not forget, Stephen Hart led them to a semi-final performance in 2007, and he'll be looking to replicate that form if he's going to hang on to the Canadian manager position. So some pressure on him as well.
So you're seeing Canada right up at the very top of this tournament.
Well, as I said, Laurence, a lot of people on paper see Canada as one of the best teams in the tournament if you're looking at where the players play. But we all know in CONCACAF, crazy things can happen. Refereeing's a bit different than these players are used to. So it's going to be interesting to see how it develops. Canada's going to have a tough group round starting from the first game against Jamaica. But if they can get through that and build some confidence, they could be in for a very good run.
As Max says, you can join us on July the 3rd for the Jamaican match in LA. You can also join us the day before for the training session, where we'll be trying to get as much news as possible from the team, and of course trying to get a few hijinks out of them as well. You can but try. But in the meantime, I've been Laurence McKenna.
I'm Max Bell.
Thank you very much for watching.
Thanks for tuning in once again to the initial installment of our 2009 Gold Cup coverage. And I just wanted to make it clear that everything we're doing is for the Voyageurs, and we look forward to hearing from you. So we've set up a couple different methods that you can get into touch with us. The first is on the forum, of course, everybody's favorite home. On the Canadian Soccer Forum, on the Voyageurs website, there's a 2009 Gold Cup media coverage thread. We started it for you. Give us your feedback, the questions you want to hear, and give us the information we can bring into the newscasts, into the updates. We want to make sure that everybody's getting the best information, and we can't do it without you. Also, if you're looking to get in touch by email, my email is max.bell@ymail.com. That's max.bell@ymail.com. And once again, we'd love to hear from you. I'm already speaking with a lot of you, and we're looking forward to growing the project with many different contacts across the Voyageurs. So get into touch. We'll speak to you soon, and we'll see you in LA.